Victory Monday, buddy?
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but both our teams did win.
Both of our teams did win, yeah.
And my defense looks awesome. Micah Parsons looks like a steal. Everything is great for us.
Sorry, Dolphins.
Yeah, sorry, Ravens.
Sorry, Ravens.
Sorry, Browns.
Sorry, 49ers for your kicking situation. Sorry, Seahawks for losing.
Yeah. Sorry, not the Chiefs.
Got him. Oh, baby. We here.
We're still.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS.
It is GPS.
It is. It is. Buddy, the first NFL Sunday in ordinary time has come and gone. And holy crap. It was a pretty crazy week one. I know, of course, we still got an NFC North matchup tonight between the Vikings and the Bears. But I was sitting there watching last night's game. We were streaming it, of course. You know, internet goes out at halftime. It's like, oh, this game's kind of dull a little bit, right? Kind of like, all right. Once it got to like a 15-point, because the Ravens were, you know, even though the game was like, you know, a touchdown away or 8 points away, or it was like, all right, they have a pretty good handle on this. Derrick Henry's running over them. Lamar Jackson's playing phenomenally well. Zay Flowers is tearing it up. It seems like the Ravens got this, right? And when they scored 40, you're kind of like, all right, this game's pretty much over. You had Bills fans who were leaving the stadium, bunch of people who were like, all right, Tom, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go to sleep. Got work in the morning, whole 9 yards. And then those same people woke up and go, what the hell happened at the end of that game? That was wild.
You never stop watching. That's the lesson.
Never.
Unless, you know, you're a fan of a shitty team and you know you're dead, you know. But like if you've got a quarterback like Josh Allen,
yep.
Like it's why I overhype that man every year. Okay? Like game on the line, he's insane. The like you just can't that's what separates like great quarterbacks from the rest of the very good quarterbacks. Maybe they don't play a perfect game leading up to the fourth quarter, but he gave us one of the most improbable comebacks you're ever going to watch. Down 15 in the last 4 or 5 minutes since 2020. Only 3 teams have won in that situation. 2,300 and some other teams have lost. So if you're not impressed with Josh Allen by this time, just fucking stop watching football because you don't deserve to watch the game. You don't deserve to watch the sport if you can't be impressed by that man. You don't. If you're looking at that going, whatever, fuck off. Just fuck off, okay? I love that man, and I'm confessing it right now. Also, right. Lamar Jackson, still very good. Very, very good. Love Lamar. Derrick Henry's insane. Like you said,
insane.
I thought they had the game under control. And then a 3 and out, a fumble, and another 3 and out.
Well, dude, even the like the 4th down touchdown where he throws it, Kincaid thinks it's for him. So he reaches his hand back, tips the ball, and it falls into Keon Coleman's arm. If they don't convert there, the game's over.
Yeah.
And like just the amount of improbable things that had to happen, right? The Derrick Henry fumble is rough. And he said, he's like, no, put that on me. Because he was running, dude, like he was in his late 20s.
Yeah, he's $169 last night.
dude,
just looked exactly like Derrick Henry did last year, right?
Yeah, like picking up right where he left off. And hey, I know you're really happy. Joey Bosa made some plays. Whoa, look at that. That's
Joey Bosa said that's like the most fun he's ever, or the happiest he's ever been after a football game.
Yeah, because he was on the Chargers. You know, when this happened, he was on the other end of that, and he like every single time. So I imagine that this was a good night for him. But you look at the defense of the Bills, just jumping into that game. I know we're skipping way ahead, but like the Bills defense, it looked tough at some times, right? You looked at the secondary, they were getting gashed up by Zay Flowers. They could not stop the run, whether it was Lamar Jackson or it was Derrick Henry. And it was like, oh, damn. All right. So this was a concern heading into this game, especially with Hairston, their first overall pick. He's gone. He's out for at least next 4 games, I think. And so to head into this game and for them to still claw their way back. And then you look at it from the Ravens perspective. Holy crap, man. I mean, it's conservative play calling. It's playing not to lose, especially at the very end of that game. And I mean, the momentum at that point had already shifted, but they had so many opportunities to win. Even after that Keon Coleman touchdown, and DeAndre Hopkins made a phenomenal play. Holy cow, that was one of the best catches of the week. If you're a Ravens fan, I'm sorry, man, but that reminded me very much of the Packers of the Seattle Seahawks NFC Championship game, where they're like, all right, we got the ball back. All right, let's just run it 3 times. Oh, we went 3 and out, but they burned all their timeouts. And then you give the ball back to Josh Allen.
Yeah. The Derrick Henry fumble, I was watching it late last night when I was like trying to go to bed, and I was like, let me just watch more football because there's something wrong with me. And he tries to stiff arm that play at the line of scrimmage instead of protecting like the football. So it's looking back at it, I was like, oh, that fumble's even worse than I first thought, like for Derrick Henry. And I love Derrick Henry, even though I know I can tackle him. I think he's one of the best running backs I've ever watched play the game.
Sure.
Actually, he was on Ryan Clark's podcast, and I know Ryan Clark, not a popular man right now.
He's really popular right now.
But Ryan Clark, this is where I think maybe I need to change, Tom, because Ryan Clark was saying, lined up in the hole, him and Derrick Henry, he's making that tackle 10 out of 10 times. And everybody else on the podcast was laughing and clowning on Ryan Clark. And I, for a second, just had a flash like, oh, fuck, do not go down the Ryan Clark path.
You're like, this could be me. If I'm not careful, this could be me.
This could be me one day, and I do not want that.
It's a Christmas cow. You're like, this is the ghost of things to come.
Yeah. But the DeAndre Hopkins, that touchdown grab was insane. But I wanted to play. Here we go, because I'm liking the rivalry between the Bills and the Ravens. It's really turning into something. It was, the Bills and the Chiefs, but now we've got the Bills and the Ravens. They've played enough. They had the playoff game last year, and Christian Benford, who I believe tackled Hopkins on that final drive, stop him short of the sticks. I think it was Benford. This is what he said when they were asking him about the Hopkins touchdown grab.
Touch that, like that's a perfect throw, a ridiculous catch. I mean, what's your reaction to see him come down with that one?
Tell him do it again if we play him again. Tell him do it again if we play him again.
Tell them to do it again if we like. They don't like each other.
Yeah,
they're not fucking impressed.
Morning. Yeah, no, and it was a sensational grab. Like DeAndre Hopkins, holy cow, man! Like that was a really damn good catch. Yeah. Talking about real quick the Ravens defense, they were great last night. Besides, that fourth quarter, they were really dark. Like they were James Cook. They were doing their job. They were causing problems in the backfield. Like they were doing their job. And then that last drive, Jair Alexander, the former Green Bay Packer, oh boy, gets burned on that route. I think it was Josh Palmer, if I'm not mistaken. And he wound up saving a touchdown at the very end, which ultimately didn't matter because the Bills still won.
I think that actually, this like the one time you
just let him score.
Make a tackle. Yeah.
And he might have dropped down anyway. You know, he might have just decided to stop short of the goal line. But holy cow, man. Yeah, that has to leave such a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Ravens fan. Unfortunately, it's not the first time. And yeah, they had that game, man. But it's like you said, you can't, guys like Josh Allen, you can't let them hang around, right?
No.
When you can, you got to put them away. And if you start playing to lose the game and the other team, with Josh Allen at the helm, they're going to try to win.
Yeah. Last time somebody played like Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers in 2018, Tom.
And it sucks too, dude. Like, I know this is going to be, Lamar had a great game, man. Like, he had a really, really good game. And I just don't know how you.
Yeah, but it's the same exact problem they had. It's just like it was like a reverse in terms of the Bills were ahead in the playoff game. Yep. The Ravens made their they had their turnovers early, right? It was the Lamar Jackson interception. You had some dropped passes from the Bills late that let the Ravens get back in it, and then the Ravens missed they can't convert the 2-point play. The Bills can't convert the 2-point play, but then the Bills they finished it off anyway. And it was Matt Prater kicking the game-winning field goal. I thought this was funny. They thought Matt Prater was a new coach when he joined the team this week. Because he's 41. Matt Prater, 41 years old.
He's a man. He's 40.
Yeah.
He walks into the special teams meeting, and I'm like, oh, we got a new coach. And then I'm like, wait, that's Matt Prater. Holy cow.
That's Matt Prater? What the hell?
Tough day, Dan. Tough day.
So just that game was fun. It was, I don't know, for week one, for that to be Sunday Night Football, like the NFL, I'm not saying they got lucky, like scheduling Bills Ravens, you're assuming it's going to be a good game, but
you're assuming
it just 41-42, like
high scoring game. You had comebacks, you had everything that you wanted.
Keon Coleman,
that's amazing.
Bills fans are very excited. I love it.
It might be some.
Yeah, we
might.
What's that?
No, I was agreeing with Beeson here because, you had a lot of kickers missing kicks yesterday. A lot. And you're saying maybe it's the new balls because there was times, too, when it was coming off the foot and it was.
Nah, they just suck. They're just.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the 49ers, you kind of knew what you had, right? I mean, and again, you still won that game. But Younghoe Koo, he missed a potential tying affair. You had some extra points that were missed. Hell, even the Ravens missed one in that Bills game.
Tyler Loop missed an extra point. That might,
hit him. The Cleveland Browns.
Smite, is that guy's name? Smite.
It's tough.
Smite. Uh-oh.
Bless you. Many blessings. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Bills. Obviously, there's things that you need to clean up. It also is just week one. But yeah, Ravens. It's a tough Monday, my friends. So kind of just gotta hope you win next week. Get that taste out of your mouth. And there's a very good chance that we wind up seeing these two teams play yet again in January. So
I hope not.
That'd be great.
I hope the Ravens beat the Chiefs in the postseason, and then the Broncos beat the Ravens, and we got Bills Broncos AFC Championship game. Defense is right for it, Tom. Broncos defense is as advertised.
You already put it into the universe that the Steelers are going to win a playoff game, and now it's just going to be against the Broncos.
No, maybe the Steelers will beat the Colts in the playoffs.
Okay.
Colts versus Steelers. Dan Jones versus Aaron Rodgers.
Indiana Jones.
Picked it, huh?
Indiana Jones. Yeah. What game do you want to talk about first, buddy? Because there is so much to talk about. You want to talk about
think Daniel Jones and the Colts is the best story from the weekend.
Dude, okay. Are you more surprised that Daniel Jones balled out? Or are you more surprised that the Dolphins looked like absolute garbage?
Oh man. Probably that the Dolphins looked as bad as they did.
Correct. I didn't think it would be that
Daniel
bad.
Jones play good football before.
Sure.
And even when we were criticizing the Colts for starting him, like the criticism wasn't that like Dan Jones is the worst quarterback on earth. It's like, well, what are you gaining out of maybe winning some early games in the season with Daniel Jones when you don't really know what you have with Richardson? Because you know who Daniel Jones is. And it's not like he was insane yesterday. He played very just smart, efficient football. The Colts they possessed the ball for 38 and a half minutes. So I think maybe the other story there is the Colts defense really just wrecking the Dolphins offensive game plan. If they even had an offensive game plan, Mike McDaniel shot up to the top of the hot seat candidates for head coaches. I saw someone this morning, I think they tweeted like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Mike McDaniel, your next Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. So I was like, oh, that's funny. And actually, I kind of would want that for Mike McDaniel.
Sure.
I don't know if Miami's a great place to be a head coach. But yeah, you got like, if you're a Colts fan, you're just like, all right, week 1 victory. Texans lost. Okay. Jags look kind of good. Whatever. We've got a chance.
I agree with you completely. We were talking about this last night. Like Daniel Jones, right, has won a playoff game against who's the team that he beat in the playoffs?
The Minnesota Bears.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was the Vikings. Got it. Sometimes I forget.
Kirk Cousins? Was it against Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. I am not like, because even you look at his season, right? His best statistical season is when Saquon Barkley, was really good. And I was like, okay, if Jonathan Taylor does well, they can win some football games, right?
Yeah.
I didn't expect Miami to be great, right? We kind of were like, maybe they're like,
they looked a little dysfunctional this offseason.
Who knows? But dude, they looked bad. Like the offense, bad.
Sucked.
Tua,
Just
bad.
sucked.
Defense, not great. Like I did not expect them to look that horrendous week 1. And it is just week 1, right? There are going to be so many overreactions after this week. There's so much that happened. It's like, oh, these teams are screwed. These teams are going to the Super Bowl, what have you.
Yeah.
But this was just not a good, they couldn't establish the run, right? Like Tua, he had multiple turnovers.
Yeah, you can't have this. 114 yards from Tua. You're talking about a veteran quarterback.
Yep.
And
we're talking about his health, right? We're talking about if the Dolphins do poorly, it's because Tua's not healthy.
It's because he's dead.
That was not the case yesterday.
He's tuna.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's Tyreek Hill's your leading receiver with 40 yards.
Shoot, Chad. Sure.
It looks like this is a similar box score as the Broncos Titans game.
That was a tough game.
Now, maybe the Colts defense underrated. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see. Broncos Colts play next, and we're going to learn a lot about both teams this coming weekend. But the Broncos defense did this to Tennessee, and that's a quarterback making his NFL debut.
Yep.
Tua can't even if you want to say, hey, maybe Mike McDaniel, we'd say the play calling's bad. Whatever. Sure. Your quarterback's got to fucking just step up and make some plays for your team. And Tua did not do that. When Daniel Jones, just so much more efficient. 7 incompletions all day for Dan Jones. Just took what the defense gave him, kept the ball moving, kept moving the chains.
2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Pittman had a nice game. Ty Warren's looking good
in his debut. Yep.
Yeah. The Colts could be the kind of the surprise team.
I'm not ready to say that just yet, but
yeah, the Broncos are going to put them to sleep, but
they're in a division. I mean, that game might put us to sleep, but they're in a division where
trust me, I know
it's wide open. Right. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the most shocking things. But talking about a game that we talked about this on Friday, I talked about this in predictions, a game that I thought could be pretty darn good, turned out to be one of the best of the early slate. And that was the Steelers and Jets.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really fun game. And as a Jets fan, right, you have to be a little like, yeah, it sucks that we lost. But like Justin Fields looked pretty good. Right. There were some throws that he missed, but he looked pretty darn solid. And then for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, let me just say, there were a lot of receivers that were open, right, on some of those throws, but he was getting that ball out quick, man. And this is he looked very different from his time when he was last in that stadium in New Jersey. And Rodgers was moving that team along, and they really couldn't get anything going with the ground game too. So the Steelers, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, you want to see like overall from Pittsburgh, like 53 rushing yards. That you want more. You want more.
Jets defense, you know, never know.
Steelers defense didn't look great either. So, you know, those are the two things. Like the two things you thought might be good for Pittsburgh. Well, hey, maybe this is the year. Like our running game should be pretty solid, and we can always rely on our defense. No, it turns out you just leaned on Aaron Rodgers to throw 4 touchdowns in his season debut against the Jets.
Yeah, it was like 2 within a minute, right?
Yeah, that game was fun though. But look at this, like no turnovers for Pittsburgh on offense.
Yep,
they got to like that. I think Justin Fields looked a lot better for the Jets. I
think a lot of that is Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn is that guy. Like, I think he is a great head coach to like lead the Jets in this quote unquote rebuild. And I think what we've been talking about the Jets is like, they're going to be potentially that pain in the ass team, right? Like maybe they only win like 8 games, somewhere around there. But if they're competitive and you got the pieces, okay. Build from there.
Yeah. And Jets rookie tackle, Armand Mambu, yeah. 0 pressures allowed. So
Membo was pretty good.
In those 25 pass protecting snaps, 0 pressures.
Let him sleep, James.
Dude, the Jets, be happy. You drafted a lineman and he worked. He did his job.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to find that for a while. So I think that's another positive if you're the Jets. And Aaron Glenn after the game, he feels like the right guy. He's like, I'm not about, moral victories, but like then he went on to, kind of talk about the things they did well. And it's all improvements from last season for the Jets. Yeah. So I think you got to like that. You got to appreciate that if you're a Jets fan. It's probably like the Jets losing that way sucks because Boswell blasted a 60-yard field goal.
Yep.
And then you were driving and Justin Fields maybe could have just run, but instead he tries to throw it to, was it Garrett Wilson who just got absolutely wrecked by Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, because he caught that ball and he just got popped. And they were going at it all game too, Ramsey and Wilson. And listen, you wanted an impact player that he made a trade for? There's Jalen Ramsey making a play.
Yeah, arguably close to the biggest play of the game.
Yep. I don't know about that yet, Tanner, about Justin Fields comeback player of the year. It's week 1, but he does look better. He definitely does look better.
He needs to keep doing it.
Yeah. Listen, maybe New York is the problem. I feel like that'd be a decent analysis, That'd be decent. But it's also who was coach. Like, look at the Jets, right? Look who was coaching. Look at what that front office is. Like, different coach, new regime, different everything except owner. And then the Giants, man, someone mentioned it before. Yeah, they did not invest in that offensive line, and that might be a problem this season.
Let's go Giants, baby.
That might be a problem.
Giants. Here you go.
I think it looked all right. Dress is funny.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart, we're going to see him a lot earlier than... Dude, Giants fans were tweeting by halftime, like, how long do we have to watch Russell Wilson?
They didn't even make it to like week 3 or week 4.
Yeah, and Russ looked bad. Russ did not
17 for 37 is rough.
Yeah, Russ did not look good at all. He was annoyingly bad.
But also, they had no ground game. He was their leading rusher.
It's like they could have used Saquon Barkley, maybe.
Maybe.
Look at Scatterboo, finished with -3 yards. Dang, not the scat, man.
I mean, he had that one nice run, right? That like he was breaking
it was
some
a pass,
tackles.
Though, yeah. And he dropped his shoulder.
Yep. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then -3 yards on the day. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so you're like, okay.
Malik Neighbors, dude, because he's so good. Malik Neighbors is so good. He looked miserable on that sideline. He was not happy.
Yeah.
He's got to be contender for fired mid-year, I think. McDaniel. So, but yeah, O-line of the Giants did not look good whatsoever. Commanders,
Yeah.
rocking, efficient.
Commanders' old-ass defense wrecked that Giants offensive line. You got Bill Krosky finding the end zone. Some preseason
Wild
hype.
Bill.
Wild Bill lives up to the bill.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel, look at that. 7 receptions.
Here, I'll be the
27
first one.
yards.
I'll be the first. I was like, yeah, this does not move the needle for me. Debo Samuel.
That needle is at midnight, baby. Full attention.
My apologies. See you on Thursday.
You know what I was going to do? We didn't talk about it yet, but obviously you had a big Friday night. Big
Sure.
Friday night streaming the game.
Sure.
Smashing success.
Appreciate
I
you.
was very invested. I was watching, just comparing you, looking at all the metrics. I was like, fuck
Texting me to show nipple.
Yeah. I texted you to show nipple.
Yep.
What I was going to do is, because I tweeted like how many live viewers you had before the game started. And then I tweeted an update when you had like 44,000 people in there. And then the numbers went away. So I couldn't do it again. But I was going to do that again. But I was going to open like 7 tabs. It was going to be the YouTube tab with Grossi. And then the rest were just going to be Pornhub tabs. And I was just going to tweet like, look at where Tom's at now. But then the number wouldn't show up and I couldn't do it. And I was like, it's probably better that didn't happen. But I wanted to so bad. I was like, this will be really funny.
Yep.
But congrats, by the way. It was
buddy.
so cool to see. Like, I've never rooted for
Me.
you ever at all. I'm just waiting for Tom to stumble. But I was rooting so hard for it. Like, it was like you, and then seeing speed, and they have all these things, and like the game was cool. There's like 15 million people watching just on YouTube. I was like, this is insane. And like, you did a great job. So,
Appreciate you, buddy.
I'm not very complimentary of other people because probably my own insecurities. I don't know, man. But like, we were all proud of you, Tom.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Now go back to fucking yourself.
Yep, got it.
Thanks.
Got it. Not a problem. Not a problem. Jake Moody even makes it to next Sunday. I don't know if he does.
Browns?
Yeah,
Bengals.
let's talk about your Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans because that game was on while the Packers game was on. So I wasn't
Dude,
able
you guys started after us and finished before. I knew your game ended because like 1,000 people showed up to my stream. I'm like, Packers game must be over.
I sat there and I'm like, Perna must be miserable. Like, just in terms of, he's watching his team and stuff, but man, this is a slow ass game.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I would just get updates in my chat and they're like, Bo Nix showed up again.
Yeah. Bo Nix had a rough day.
Yeah.
It was bad, but not as bad as maybe they'll try to tell you.
25 for 40 is a little tough. RJ Harvey, though, I went back and watched. There's some excitement there.
Yeah, well, that was one really the problem is there was no run game in the first half.
No.
Just none.
No.
And it was, I would say, because Sean Payton wasn't even trying to run the football.
It's true, Funko.
So,
T-Rex.
Yeah, it was tough, but the Broncos defense was so dominant that kept me going.
Yeah.
And I kind of took for granted that every time Tennessee got the ball back, so Bo Nix 3 turnovers, two interceptions, a fumble.
Yep.
And every time Tennessee got the ball back with decent field position, I was like, I'm not worried. Maybe the Titans have a bad offensive line, or maybe the Broncos have the greatest pass rushing defensive front in the NFL, because it was 6 different guys got a sack, Tom. So usually a team gets 6 sacks. Like, one guy's going to have 2 or 3 in that mix, but there was pressure coming from everywhere. Interior, the exterior. Cam Ward, his box score doesn't indicate how well he played. Okay. I think that's going to be the tough thing to explain is Cam Ward did a decent job, because I think if he were a different rookie quarterback, not ready to actually start, he would be 8 for 28 with 3 picks, and you'd just be like, that might be a bust. But 112 yards is good.
Well, it's
from
also
what I watched.
there was a bunch of Titans fans who were in the chat too, and they were like, "We're also Cam's being put in really bad positions with like play
Horrible.
calling, like the clock management. Like there was a few instances where it was like, oh no, this is just sloppy, and it's not necessarily on Cam Ward."
No, I think I saw Coleman throw out a tweet of where he said Cam Ward had to throw a screen pass to the dirt because nobody turned around to look to catch the ball.
When Tony Pollard is your leading receiver with 1 reception for 29 yards, it's a tough time. That
happened in the first quarter. And then, at the end of the first half, Brian Callahan completely mismanages the clock.
Yeah.
The Titans got the ball with like 54 seconds. They took 14 seconds off the clock. They threw it 3 times, all incomplete, or 2 incompletions, a near safety, gave the Broncos the ball back with 2 timeouts. Denver scores a touchdown there, and then the Broncos let a freaking kick return almost get housed. And Tennessee got to kick a field goal right before halftime. But yeah, it was a lot of dumb coaching, I felt like, in this game.
Yeah, and that's what Boston is saying. Are you concerned about the Broncos, like in terms of the way they play? Because it also, again, it is week 1, right? We always have that fallback of any team that was bad, you go, well, it's week 1. There are some teams that's a little tougher to do with, but like, are you concerned going forward, or are you kind of just like, all right, first game back? And
I'm concerned with Sean getting too pass happy. I think Bo will be more effective if the Broncos establish a run game early. They failed to do that. I mean, but Bo started the game he was 4-4 passing, and then he missed his next 3. I think they got to run. You drafted RJ Harvey, you bring in J.K. Dobbins, trust those guys, because the second half, that big run by Harvey, it was followed by a really nice touchdown run by J.K. Dobbins.
Saw that.
They need to do that more, and then I think that makes Bo have some easier passes and those sorts of things.
And then lose.
But let me see. I was going to bring up one thing, and then we can move on from this game.
Defense looked good, though.
The Broncos defense, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if the Titans offense is just kind of that bad right now. And Calvin Ridley had 3 drops too. Like, Tennessee might have had a chance. Ball. Dude, Ward got no help. I've never seen a rookie get just so little help from his offense. They all fucking sucked. And I'm sorry, Cam Ward, that you had to deal with that. If you're a Titans fan, you should be a little upset. So when the stat guys are like, you know what, the Titans, whatever they did doesn't even make sense to our graph here.
Yeah. Look at the Colts leading the top.
Look at that. Look at that efficiency. Yeah, per play, I think Indy was one of the most successful per play teams on offense week 1.
Just like we all anticipated.
Yeah. That dude, we talk about sports, but the NFL, this is what they have, in my opinion, over every league. Like, you think you know so much every offseason, and then week 1 comes, you're like, ooh, and then week 2 comes, and a bunch of the shit we saw week 1 gonna look stupid by week 2. It's just that unknown every year. Anything can really happen.
Yep.
I love it.
Packers. Yeah, but hey, a win's a win. You got the Colts next week. Like you said, we'll figure some things out. How about those Green Bay mother-loving Packers?
Woo! Dude, I really didn't get to see much from this game. What went wrong for the Lions?
So I talked about this in the post game, which I recorded at like 2:00 in the morning last night, which, by the way, 60 seconds after this episode is over, it will be released. It's tough to identify because I'm obviously a Packers fan, in case you didn't know. The defense, the Packers D, especially the pass rush, looked phenomenal. Lucas Van Ness led the team with 4 pressures.
Nice.
Right? Then it was Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons played less than 50% of defensive snaps and still had 3 pressures. Of course, he had that sack, which Micah Parsons is terrifying. Dude, him come bursting out of like that group of linemen and chasing after Jared Goff, like place went insane. So they were constantly getting pressure on Jared Goff. They sacked him 4 times. But in addition, because context does matter here, it's week 1, sure, whatever. But the Lions offense could not get it going. Gibbs caught 10 receptions, and it was like a historic low about the amount of yards that he got. I think it was like 30 something yards. It was 10 catches for 31 yards, which is like the least amount that any receiver has gotten or any player has gotten catching 10 receptions. But they kept throwing like a ton of screen passes, a ton of stuff behind the line. It was mostly short yardage, and the offense just did not look very good. Now, at the same time, remember that Packers run defense that they weren't supposed to have after they traded away Kenny Clark? The run defense was really damn good. I mean, they have 2 of the best running backs in the NFL, and they were held to 46 rushing yards. They held them to under 50 rushing yards. So you look at the Packers defense, and I could definitely pat them on the back and be like, holy crap, they did a great job. But there are questions of like, okay, is this going to be the result of Ben Johnson leaving, right? Is that going to have that kind of impact on this offense? And you can't answer that in week 1. But yeah, the Lions just did not get things going. And holy crap, the Packers defense looked pretty damn good. And the Packers offense was incredibly efficient. Like they were really, they lost time of possession. They did that. They had 47 plays on offense compared to 65 from the Lions. Like they looked pretty damn good yesterday. I mean, as a Packers fan, I'm beyond thrilled. You know, this was the first time we beat the Lions at Lambeau since 2021. So it had been a hot second. It's the first time we've beaten them since 2020. Like they think it was December of 23. So this was a really big win for the Packers. It's within the division. Of course, the Lions coming in as a division champs. They've been doing well at Lambeau. But holy cow, man, I'm so impressed with the Packers defense. It looked good.
Yeah, I mean, like when you see the Lions ran 65 plays on offense and only put up 13 points, Green Bay does it in 47. They still went for a 4th down a lot, huh? Dan Campbell still got his balls, and they're 3 of 4 on 4th down. Okay. But yeah, I think holding Detroit to 46 rushing yards is probably the most impressive thing you guys did. Like I could see like Goff only having 200 passing yards and maybe the passing game not looking as dynamic without Ben Johnson there. But you think like, okay, even if we lose Ben Johnson, what are we going to rely on as the Detroit Lions? Sure. Our strong offensive line and the fact that we've got one of the best 2-headed monsters in our backfield, and David Montgomery burns the defense, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sure.
46 rushing yards? That's I would be a little worried about that if I'm the Lions.
Yeah.
Now, maybe the Packers defense is just taking that next step forward. Who's your defensive coordinator again?
Jeff Hafley.
Yeah, he did a great job last year getting them right. They were solid against the run last year.
They were the 7th best in the league.
Yeah, now they might be top 5 this year. They might be top 5 defense.
And you talk about Micah Parsons, who, again, he didn't play a whole lot yesterday, but when he was on the field, and this is what we talked about, not only is he a really good player and they're doubling him and what have you, but it allowed others to get an opportunity to get after the quarterback. Devontae Wyatt had a really, really good game. Lucas Van Ness, I mentioned before, and Parsons was singing Lucas Van Ness's praises after, and he's like, he could do everything. He's going to have the best season of his career, you know, and this was a make or break year for LVN. So the fact that, you know, all these guys are getting involved, dude, it was pretty damn great. And even Dan Whelan, I got to shout out at him too, because punters, they rock. Dan Whelan, man, 3 punts, 164 yards, averaging nearly 55 yards a punt. And that's a game changer, man, because if you're pinning them deep, like the Packers played well on special teams. They played well on defense. Love had like 2 to 3 not great throws. He had one, Anzalone dropped an interception, and then one went to Brian Branch, who returned it for a pick 6. And I was like, well, this is going to be the worst day of my life. Thankfully, that got called back because of a holding call. But nice. Yeah, Love was efficient. He had a 2-play 65-yard drive, man, that resulted in a touchdown. And it was just, this is my team right now. They played pretty damn well. I'm so excited. So excited.
That's a good week 1. Anytime you can get a division win week 1, 2, that's always a luxury.
Yeah.
Something the Chiefs would know nothing about at this point.
And now the Packers have to turn around, and the Commanders are coming into town on Thursday. So like those are bad. If the Packers are able to beat the Commanders and start off the like beating 2 playoff contending teams back to back, and then they get a little bit of a rest, and Micah Parsons gets to be more active after that. Oh boy, like this is Micah Parsons playing less than 50% of snaps. I'm excited. I am excited. It's week 1. You know, we're in temporary expectations a little bit. Not going to win a Super Bowl week 1, but this was a great game for the Packers.
Maybe the NFL should have the Super Bowl week 1.
Maybe.
Yeah. I dropped that in my recap there. Tantalus. One of the preseason stories was how good Davis Webb was calling plays for the Broncos when he had Stidham out there in the preseason. Sean Payton, I don't know. Broncos had you mentioned your special teams being good. The Broncos special teams, they gave up a near return and Marvin Mims muffed a punt. It was a rough day for Denver special teams. So our offense didn't play well, the special teams didn't play well, and the defense was so good we still got to win. Broncos got a lucky win. Packers got a decisive win. Let's go to the Bengals Browns.
Oh boy. Yeah, Cleveland needs a new kicker. I mean, there's a few teams that need a new kicker right now, but
yeah. Who was their kicker? Smite?
They could have won too. You know, the Browns could have won this football game.
Yeah, they missed an extra point and a field goal, right? Cleveland.
Don't you worry.
And they would have won by, basically 4. Yeah, 1-2. Man. Dude, Joe Burrow, the fact that he's just alive today. Did you see that hit Myles Garrett had on him?
Dude.
Just untouched, up the middle. And I'm happy Joe Burrow's okay.
Yeah, can't throw bottles or anything. Can't do that or push people. Yeah, no, but this has been a problem with the Bengals. We've been talking about their defense, but like we also talked about their offensive line. Their offensive line was not great last year. And there's still a lot of, they drafted offensive line early, not this past draft, the draft before that. Is that going to pay off? And again, it is week 1. And speaking of week 1, the Bengals are very happy to win in a week 1, right?
Yeah.
Even though it is a ugly ass game where they couldn't get anything really going. And for the Cleveland Browns, you're like, okay, maybe our defense, right? Because you look, Jamar Chase didn't do a whole lot of anything.
No.
Right? T. Higgins, 33 yards.
Division game. Browns defense might be really good. Myles Garrett almost had 3 sacks in a row in this game. But yeah, if you're the Bengals, you want more out of Chase Brown in the run game.
2 yards a carry is tough. And I think it's going to be good, but maybe this means the Browns defense is good too. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's also an AFC North game. You never know.
Yeah. Dude, 113 yards from Joe Burrow. You don't see that very often. Even when the Bengals are struggling, like their pass game usually works. So division game, good Browns defense. See what the Bengals do next week. They are lucky they won this game.
But hey,
it's a win. So just like
Cleveland, if you get a better kicker, maybe things change a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
What else?
What's the possibility the Titans are just better than we expected? Their defense, maybe. Their offense, I don't know. Their offense, they added some pieces to that offensive line in the offseason, but I like Cam Ward a lot, and I think he can do well. He just needs some freaking support, man.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about the Raiders, but yeah, Jaguars. Woo.
You had the 2 coaches that Baker Mayfield made. Dave Canales versus Duval. And Trevor Lawrence had a better outing than Bryce Young. Panthers fans are scared that Bryce Young is just not the guy. But what you got to like if you're a Jags fan is Travis Etienne having 143 rushing yards in this game on 16 carries. Just a solid day for the Jaguars, rough day for the Panthers.
Yes. And so real quick with the Jaguars, there's 2 things that you absolutely love about this game. Travis Etienne, who is the definition of make or break year, you needed to see something from him. For him to come out and have nearly 150 yards week 1, that's a big old positive, right? That and the defense, which was atrocious last year, they looked better. Now, it is against the Panthers, and we're going to see how good the Panthers actually are. Like you said, there's a lot of fans who are down on Bryce Young right now and like, ooh, okay, is he going to work out? But for the Jaguars, this is a step in the right direction. Plus the Texans lost, right? Maybe they can kind of recapture a little bit of that. And if Trevor Lawrence can play well throughout the season and you have a good ground game, I mean, you already have the receivers. So yes, Nugget, we did. I saw the Phillies, Karen. You saw that, Perna, the woman who took the ball from the kid. I was like,
oh yeah,
it was nice. The kid got like a
baseball
signed
game
bat and stuff.
I'm not. I don't care what happens. Somebody could, MLB pitcher could have a heart attack and die. Opening week of football, I'm not gonna pay attention to it at all. The craziest thing on earth could happen. Week 1 in NFL, don't care if it's not.
Went with the most serious thing possible. I feel like that would make some news. But yeah, that was.
But the pitcher threw a strike while having a heart attack. Great story. Don't care. NFL's back. NFL's back.
But yeah, don't be a douche. Super simple. Hey, Gridiron. Let's go. Yeah, Panthers again. It's week 1. Can't judge everything here. A little concerning.
Panthers. That is not the way you start a season.
Sam, I am not. I refuse. And it's not because I don't want to give credit to the Colts. I mean, if they beat the Broncos defense, like, oh yeah, we're gonna give Daniel Jones a ton of props if he's able to look good against them. But we gotta wait. Who was it? Was it the Saints? Right? Was that last year, 2 years ago? God, now I'm mixing up season. Who went like undefeated? They were scoring it was the Saints, right? They were scoring like 45 points, and we're like, oh my. We got to get through September football, and then we can start to really see, all right, which teams are starting to be more consistent.
Look, I think Indy's defense could be really good, and I do have concerns about the Broncos offense.
True.
So watching the Broncos offense play the Colts defense next week, that'll be a nice gauge. And then can Dan Jones be efficient against a pass rush that might be the greatest pass rush in NFL history? We're going to find out.
Is that what people are saying after week 1?
People are saying it. Dude, the Broncos are on pace to have 100+ sacks this season.
It's one game.
100+ sacks.
True.
You were talking about the Raiders for
I want to talk about the Raiders. Yeah.
Raiders. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me show you something even prettier.
Okay. Oh, you're going to show the Chiefs being the only team to lose.
Look at these low-life Chiefs, Tom.
Yep.
Oh, you suck, Kansas City. Dead fucking last place. Enjoy it, Kansas City, because you're going to spend the entire season down there. You pathetic, overrated, Satan worshiping cucks. God, I love it. Okay.
And the Chiefs are playing the Eagles on Sunday.
I know.
That's going to be tough. Because Worthy was a dislocated shoulder, right?
Yeah.
And so they're talking about if he needs potential surgery and whatnot. Also, Chiefs fans watching DeAndre Hopkins yesterday, probably not the happiest.
Yeah,
that could be a rough stretch to start the season, man. And I'm not going to count them out, but they need Rashee Rice back badly.
Yeah, they just got to wait 5 more weeks.
It's true. Oh, that the Tesla catch was beautiful. That was a really, really nice catch.
Tesla.
Let's talk about the Raiders. You and I both picked the Raiders to win, right? And the Patriots, I know there's some Patriots fans who are, not so happy today. It is just week 1. In the first half, I was like, okay, we'll see what the Patriots can do. But Geno Smith, turned the ball over, got sacked 4 times, but he's used to that. He played for Seattle. He had a really nice game. And Geno is the kind of quarterback that can change an offense because he could just use the weapons that are at his disposal and rock out. I know Brock Bowers got banged up. I didn't follow up on that, though. Is he good?
I don't know. He tweaked his knee. He took a shot to his knee, and then, I don't know what the update is on Brock Bowers' knee.
All right, provides major update. Hold on.
Yeah. I think if you're the Raiders, you're a little disappointed.
He said it's fine. He said took a little hit to the knee, came out, got checked out, no concerns moving forward. Excellent.
Nice. Raiders, Ashton Genty, 2 yards per carry. That's probably a little concerning.
Just got a scheme coffee. That's it.
He did have a nice touchdown run in this game. And then Travion Henderson only getting 5 carries. Come on, New England.
Yeah, I didn't think Drake May was going to throw it 46 times.
Dude, it's stupid football. Like, why is Mike Vrabel allowing his second-year quarterback to throw 46? Bo threw it 4 times, or 40 times. Run the fucking football a little bit. Help these young quarterbacks out. And like, you had a guy who looked great in the preseason. You draft a running back. We've seen Ramondre Stevenson be very good at times, but like both these teams, at least the Raiders got Genty 19 touches. But just 24 carries overall. You're fine with Geno throwing, but like let's establish the run a little bit. Figure it out.
Herbert was phenomenal.
Figure it out.
So
Anyway.
we'll see, Ethan. Maybe. Let's see a few games. But now Raiders, man,
This is exactly what we thought this game would be.
literally.
The least surprising game all week, this one.
Yeah.
And thank you, Raiders and Chargers, for all of us being victorious while the Chiefs are not.
Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay, Atlanta.
That game was fun.
Ibuka looking real good. We talked about it coming out of the draft.
Got that right on Friday. So thank you. I appreciate, I really fall in love with players when I predict them to do well and then they do. Ibuka, I said, you know what? Stepping in this game, I think he's gonna go. He's gonna have a nice one.
You know what I did 10 minutes before this game started?
Put him on the bench.
Yep, for Tua. I put Baker Mayfield on the bench for Tua.
Oh, that was stupid.
That was good. That was really good.
Baker's got all the things you want to have in terms of like that the intangibles,
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Baker not his best game. Not his best game passing, but when you need a play, he's going to figure out a way to make it.
And again, the fact that you're getting this kind of production, they had no run game either.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. I picked Bucky Irving to be the rushing leader this year, so
yeah. But Ibuka and just having, and this is without Chris Godwin, this is without Tristan Wirfs, this is without McMillan. Like the Buccaneers, I picked the Buccaneers to lose this game because I was like, all right, the Falcons, had their number last year. They had put on some really good games last season too, but maybe they just catch them at the right time. And for the Falcons defense, I think there's a lot that you could point to of like, okay, this is some positive stuff. Penix didn't look too bad. That's nice. Bijan, went crazy that one play, but yeah, they also didn't really have too much of a run game either. The Falcons, Younghoe Koo, he started struggling last season, and to miss that kick is tough.
Yeah.
So could have gone to overtime, could have seen what happened, but this is a big win for the Buccaneers, down a whole bunch of players.
Yeah, and that's a good sign for the Falcons because Baker just led that touchdown drive to give Tampa the lead back. And I think what did they get? They got the ball with somewhere around a minute there, and just unfortunate the kick can't get made. Yeah, you would assume the Falcons' run game would have been better, but maybe that's a good sign for the Bucs defensive front. So just a well-fought division game.
It was a fun game. No, it was definitely a fun game. Buccaneers able to squeak one out, and Falcons, not doom and gloom. Not doom and gloom. Which is
what? The Saints didn't win, but
they didn't look. So Chris just said they didn't look awful.
It could have been
look like the worst team in the league.
You got Rattler thrown it 46 times. Oh, cool, Kellen Moore. Cool. But they hung around.
Yep.
They weren't as bad as I thought they'd be. So that's
literally that. But I think that's the Saints fans too who are looking at that and go, all right, we weren't the worst.
Could have been worse.
We weren't the worst.
I'd get Kamara more touches next week, Kellen.
Perna, you're saying if you and Jess had a second baby and she went, Brandon, the baby's coming, you would go, yeah, but Bo Nix is on.
I would never do that to my wife.
You said nothing else matters during the NFL season. That's why. Or are you just saying just for baseball?
Sports-wise.
Oh, got it.
I was saying they brought up a baseball thing asking if I saw it. Of course not.
if we're just doing math here, right? So this wouldn't happen until next season, at the very earliest. I mean, Carmi at that point, she's going to be what, 6? What else is she doing? She could help Jess.
She'll
right?
babysit.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll be there for the delivery. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You can continue to watch football. You're fine. It's fair. That's fair. But yes, Saints didn't look awful. Dark Horse Cardinals. I mean, come on now. Easy. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked good, which they definitely needed him to look good. So that is positive. Kyler Murray had a very solid game as well. So Trey McBride continuing from last season. San Fran and Seattle also had a game. Oh, that Sam Darnold fumble, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That was a time. I'm also very glad that I picked the 49ers here, even though they need a new kicker yesterday. They might just get off the team. That's just, and they've been trying to find one too, because they got the old Packers kicker for a hot second before he got released. So everything is true.
Yeah, you like Christian McCaffrey played. He didn't get hurt
in practice. Yep.
Unfortunately, George Kittle got some sort of hamstring thing going on. Ricky Pearsall had a nice game. Brock Purdy, game on the line. Game on the line. Who does Brock Purdy find for the game-winning touchdown? Jake Tongues. Jake Tongues. Never heard of him, but he made an incredible grab in the end zone there to get San Francisco the win. Spread the ball around a lot there, old Brocketh Purdy.
Exactly, yeah.
How bad was Darnold's fumble? I didn't see the fumble.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Where did that happen? What happened?
No, he just dropped the ball.
He just dropped.
Yeah, Bosa was like that strip sack. I thought he just dropped the ball. Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
Poor Darnold.
Am I gonna get an ad? I'm gonna get an ad. I don't want an ad. I don't want that. But I mean, this is kind of one of the concerns that you had with Sam Darnold, bringing him in and like, all right, there's going to be some growing pains. It's going to be more focused on the Seahawks defense. And like the Seahawks didn't have like the worst game. They definitely ended against a division rival in the 49ers. But
I just saw the play. He looks so stupid.
It's not good.
Because his arm gets hit as he's throwing there.
It's not good, though.
And so it just comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Damn, that's crazy, Brandon. Since 94. That's pretty nuts.
Oh, my God.
That's true, Gary. And Lenny was born. This is a big win for the 49ers, able to go into Seattle and get the W. Yeah, you just need a new kicker. That's what I got from that game, primarily. It's like, get a new kicker, please. Please. Yeah, kicking is very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So, yep. What was the other game that we won? Oh, the Rams, Texans.
Oh, yeah. I probably know the least about that game because that was afternoon game, right? I know Puka got his skull cracked open and he kept playing.
He got blood and comes back and still crushes it. That's why
I was like 100+ receiving yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first half it wasn't bad, Chris.
Texans 9 points. That's rough, but I think that Rams defense might be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chubb had 60 rushing yards. Okay. You're hoping that was 160, but still, where's Puka's stat line? There it is. 10 receptions, 130 yards.
Yep.
Whilst having a giant patch on his face.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tough son of a bitch, that's for sure.
Indiana Jones, baby. Indiana Jones. Yeah, and this was a pretty low-scoring game, and you kind of looked at both defensive lines, and you're like, okay, I could see it going this way.
Yeah. Rams shut out the Texans in the second half there. So,
and CJ Stroud, it was a little bit of a tough day, but both teams had 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Daniel, what a fade.
Testing out to see if the Texans offensive line is improved in your first games against the Rams. That's just
a tough matchup.
That's a tough outing. I'm going to hold off judgment on the Texans until next week.
Yeah, no, you can wait on that one.
I'll wait. I'll give them some time to marinate.
Yeah, Nathan, the only reason why the Ravens weren't in the Screaming Street is because it was like 2:00 in the morning when I was editing that. So it's the only reason. It's a tough time, my friend, but just got to come back. Hopefully things are good. And if not, then
yeah.
I'm so
Do we miss
sorry.
any games? We miss anything?
Hold on 2 seconds. I don't think so.
Let's
ride.
That's right.
All right, I love you.
Hell yeah, I love you.
Oh my God.
Adorable. That's so adorable.
She's
How's today going to kindergarten? Back in the routine still?
Yeah, she was good. She was solid today.
Appreciate you, Nathan.
Jess went in to help, so I took her up.
True.
She was good.
Tough playing O-line in the NFL. Also, T-Rex Nation. Tonight, we got an NFC North showdown between the... Oh, technically, we didn't talk about the Chargers-Chiefs game real quick. Because it was Friday.
It was Friday.
Chargers, dude, Justin Herbert looked great. He played a phenomenal football game. And, Chiefs defense still looked pretty solid, but holy crap, man, as soon as Worthy went out, they just don't have a lot of people to throw the ball to.
I thought the Chiefs defense looked a lot more suspect than they were last season. I think there's some holes on the Chiefs defense. There's some confusion in their secondary. The Chargers passing game was very effective. Quentin Johnston had a couple touchdowns. Like to see that for him. Keenan Allen, I think, made a huge difference for the Chargers in like third down situations or, plays where you really need a guy to get open, and Justin Herbert can just trust Keenan Allen. So, yeah, and also to hear Tart just slapping the shit out of Travis Kelce. I can't stop watching that play.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think about that play like 5 times a day right now because it was so funny.
Yeah.
And Jawan
still made an impact.
Jawan Taylor, Chiefs lineman. Woo, he had a rough night.
But he's been in it. How many false starts were you going to call on Jawan Taylor over these past few seasons? Like, it's not.
Stop jumping off sides.
I don't know. I'm not terribly surprised there. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't make the wild card for a reason. They got blown out by the 7 seed.
The craziest thing about that Chiefs game, honestly, is like Patrick Mahomes had a handful of very Patrick Mahomes moments. He did some crazy shit, and it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. They needed more from somebody else. They have no run game. They've always used that short passing game kind of in lieu of their run game, but like when you lose, Worthy right away, you want to be able to lean on like Pacheco, and I don't know. They've got some issues. I think they'll figure them out. I think Andy Reid's a very good coach. I think they'll figure them out. But if you're a Chiefs fan, there's some things you're like, well, we got to clean all that shit up if we want to actually think about ourselves as, the Chiefs, as being a legit team to go back to the Super Bowl. Because right now,
and I think they'll probably look like a completely different team when Rice comes back.
I'm sure,
That's a long time to wait, and they're going through some tough teams. And so if like you're starting and you win only 2 or 3 games, in the first 6 games, because hold on, real quick, their schedule's not easy either.
Yeah, they looked flawed, and they looked flawed at times last year, but they always figured out ways to win the game.
Eagles, tough. Giants, Ravens, we'll see. Jaguars, Lions, and then Raiders.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's a tough stretch.
They're going to lose a couple of those games, I think.
Which team lost yesterday looked most concerning overall? It has to be Dolphins.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it has to be the Dolphins. I think the fact that you didn't even show up until like the second half, near the that's the one that I would be the most concerned about, because they just every side of the ball looked bad. And I think it's based off of anticipation of what your expectations were going to be for this season. The Dolphins, this is a huge make or break year for them also, because I could see a bunch of people getting fired or let go after this. So we'll see. We'll see. Cameron, let's go. Congrats on the marriage. Let's get it.
Wow. Nice.
That's right.
Married. You're married.
Yes, I did. Go, Pad, go. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
I'll have the Broncos episode coming up ASAP. It'll be up very soon. Broncos Titans full blown recap. No,
Literally,
it's not a new worst game ever. All of you rooting for that? Not today. What do you got, Tom?
are you winners and losers coming out later too, or
That'll be up tomorrow.
tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow. morning.
Today, literally 60 seconds after we end this stream, I will put out the Packers post game. I just couldn't get that out in the morning because it was like 4 a.m. So that'll come out. If the NFL was scripted week 1, that's the big one that comes out today. So I got to write that, record that, and edit that. Tonight, I'll be streaming the Vikings and Bears. And then after that should be every NFL fan's reaction to week 1, if I can get that done between. So like I said, football season's back. Just a
Good luck.
But folks, appreciate the hell out of you. Football's freaking fracking back.
Over 10,000 of you in here today combined. Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
We appreciate it.
Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. I'll see you later. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
Anya rich, ya dis, takat, chago, kadit, talak, chabat, cha, cha, cha.